Okay, let's move on to the next topic. So the next topic is nothing but the voltage division rule. So we are going to study the voltage division rule. So the voltage division rule is going to be applicable in series resistive circuit. So the voltage division rule is going to be applied in a series resistive circuit only. The first point is nothing but what I said now. It applies to the circuit where the resistors are connected in series only. How we are going to apply this voltage division rule? Let's see that now. So it gives, the voltage division rule gives the voltage across any resistor. The voltage division rule gives the expression for voltage across any resistor. So if there are 2 to 3 resistors involved, we are going to express the voltage across each resistor in terms of the resistances as well as the total voltage across the combination. How we are going to apply this voltage division rule? Let us see now. I have considered a series circuit here which involves 3 resistors connected in series with a voltage source V. So here I have considered 3 resistors R1, R2 and R3 which are connected in series with a voltage source V. Now we already know that in case of series the current remains same because here there is only one path. There is only one path to flow current. The current through all the elements remains same. And what is the factor that divides? Voltage divides. That's why we are going to apply voltage division rule in a series circuits. See here, suppose I have assumed that a current I is flowing in clockwise direction in the circuit. I assumed that a current of I is flowing in the circuit in clockwise direction. And we already know that the voltage will divide across each resistor. I am going to assume that the voltage across R1 as V1, the voltage across R2 as V2 and the voltage across R3 as V3. Now how will you calculate the voltage V1, V2, V3 by applying voltage division rule? So the voltage across each resistor, first let us apply the known rules, then we will finally formulate the voltage division rule. So what are the laws we know? Ohm's law, Kirchhoff's laws, KCL and KVL. Now the voltage across each resistor can be calculated by using Ohm's law. First of all we are going to apply Ohm's law to calculate the voltage across each resistor. From Ohm's law we know that V1 is equals to IR1, V2 is equals to I into R2 and V3 is equals to I into R3. So these 3 voltages or expressions are going to be obtained from Ohm's law. Because we know that the current through all the resistance is same, that's why the current remains same. And the thing that divides is voltage. Next, what is the second law you can apply here? Among the 2 Kirchhoff's laws, we are going to apply KVL here because it is a series circuit. In case of series circuit, we are going to use Kirchhoff's voltage law, KVL. So from KVL, we can say that sum of voltage rise is equal to sum of voltage drops. Now, substitute the values of V1, V2, V3 from Ohm's law in this expression. So if you substitute and if you take the common term I out of the equation, then you are going to get V is equal to I into R1 plus R2 plus R3. Now from this equation we are going to write the current expression I as V divided by R1 plus R2 plus R3. Take the individual voltages across the resistors. V1 is equal to I into R1, we know that. In place of I, substitute this expression. So what is I value here? V divided by R1 plus R2 plus R3. So I have substituted in place of I the expression obtained from I. Now here exchange the terms here. So R1 divided by R1 plus R2 plus R3 into V. And we know that in case of series circuit, the equal but total resistance is nothing but R1 plus R2 plus R3. So the total resistance R1 plus R2 plus R3 can be equal to RT. Now if you replace R1 plus R2 plus R3 with RT, we are going to get V1 is equals to R1 divided by total resistance or equivalent resistance into total voltage. This is called voltage division. The voltage across a resistor can be obtained in terms of the resistances and the total voltage across the series combination. As I said earlier that the voltage division rule can be expressed in terms of the resistances and the total voltage across the combination. If you follow the same procedure for resistance 2 also, then you are going to get V2 is equals to, in place of R1, you are going to write R2. And RT and V remain same because the total resistance of the circuit will always same. And the total voltage applied is same. Similarly for V3, the voltage across R3 is nothing but R3 by total resistance into voltage. So this is how you are going to apply the voltage division rule across each resistor. Okay. So I will explain once again. So here I have considered a series circuit. In this series circuit, there are 3 resistors which are connected in series with a voltage source. In this circuit, in case of the series circuit, the 2 factors that we are going to consider, the first one is current. Current remains same. And what is the second factor? Voltage. The voltage will divide. So in case of series circuit, current remains same, voltage divides. This voltage division only we are going to formulate now. Since there is only one path for current to travel, that's why we are going to assume the current remains same. I am going to assume that current is I and it is flowing in clockwise direction. Now, since the voltage is going to be divided, I am going to assume that the voltage across R1 as V1, voltage across R2 as V2, voltage across R3 as V3. And we all know that these are the signs we are going to allocate because always the current entering terminal is going to be given as positive, that we know. According to that, I have assigned the signs. Now, from Ohm's law, so for the explanation purpose only, we are going to use this Ohm's law and KCL. Next time onwards, you can directly apply the voltage division rule. Whenever you can find circuit involved, and if you want to calculate the voltage across each resistor, you can directly apply the voltage division rule. To understand the voltage division rule, I am going to use this Ohm's law and KCL, KVL. Okay. So from Ohm's law, the voltage across each resistance. Suppose let's take the resistance R1. The voltage across R1 is V1. That V1 is equals to I into R1. Next, what is the voltage across resistance 2? It is equals to I into R2. Next, what is voltage across resistance 3? V3 is equals to I into R3. So these are the individual voltage across resistances that we have calculated from Ohm's law. Now since there is only one loop here, apply KVL around the loop. Now apply KVL. When you apply KVL, KVL is nothing but sum of voltage rise is equals to sum of voltage drops. Now in the circuit, we know that this V1 is nothing but a drop and V2 is also a drop and finally V3 is also a drop. Why this V1, V2, V3 are going to be considered as voltage drops? If you observe the current direction here, the current is flowing clockwise. That means in case of R1, the current is flowing in this direction. That means it is flowing from positive terminal to negative terminal. Plus 2 minus means always drop. Similarly, in R2, the current is flowing downwards. That means from plus terminal to minus terminal. That's why it is also a drop. In case of R3, the current is also flowing from positive to negative. That's why it is a drop. But in so that the current is moving from negative to positive, minus terminal to plus terminal. That's why this Vs is going to be considered as rise. Okay. So sum of the voltage rises is equals to sum of the voltage drops. So Vs is equals to V1 plus V2 plus V3. And we already calculated the V1, V2, V3 values from Ohm's law. Substitute these values here and take out the common term I. 2R2 plus I into R3. If you take the common term, we are going to get I into R1 plus R2 plus R3. From this expression, we can write expression I is equals to V by R1 plus R2 plus R3. So from this expression, we can say that I is equals to Vs by R1 plus R2 plus R3. Now in case of series circuits, we already calculated that the equivalent resistance R equivalent or the total resistance RT can be equal to sum of all the individual resistances. So here there are three resistances, so you have to add R1 plus R2 plus R3. So in this expression, in place of R1 plus R2, we can replace R equivalent. I is equal to V by R equivalent. Okay. Now we got the total current. Now we have to calculate the voltages across each resistor. The voltage across each resistor is given by these three formulas. In this, the only unknown quantity is I. And for this I, we calculated the expression I is equal to Vs by R equivalent. In this, we know the value of Vs. R equivalent can be calculated from R1 plus R2 plus R3. So replace I in the three expressions. And then we are going to get V1 is equals to R1 by R equivalent into Vs. So if you want to calculate the voltage across resistance R1, you are going to apply this voltage division rule. So what is voltage division rule? When you want to calculate voltage across any resistance, the voltage across this resistance is R1, the resistance value itself, divided by the total resistance, that is nothing but R1 plus R2 plus R3, into the total voltage applied across this series combination, that is Vs. So this is the voltage across the first resistance. Without knowing all these things also, now we can apply voltage division rule in the circuit. Let us see here. So if you want to calculate the voltage across R1, take that resistance itself divided by what is the total resistance of the circuit? R1 plus R2 plus R3. And what is the voltage applied across this series combination? Vs. This is nothing but the voltage across the resistance 1. Similarly, if you want to calculate the voltage across resistance 2, how will you write down the formula? VR2 is nothing but, first one, in the numerator you have to write down the resistance value itself, that is nothing but R2, divided by the total resistance R1 plus R2 plus R3 into the total voltage applied Vs. Similarly, the voltage across R3 can be written as R3 divided by R1 plus R2 plus R3 into Vs. This is how we are going to apply voltage division rule in a series resistive circuit. If we generalize this formula, that means if there are, consider that in general for any number of series resistors, and if assume that the total resistance here it is RT and the voltage, total voltage is Vs. So I consider that there are several number of resistors connected in series. Here, for example, I have considered that X resistors are connected in series. Now, if you want to calculate the voltage across the X, some resistor X, and assume that the voltage across the resistor Vx. Now, how will you apply voltage division rule? The voltage division rule is nothing but Vx is equals to the individual resistance value, which is called Rx, divided by the total resistance RT into the total applied voltage Vs. That's how you are going to calculate, or you are going to apply voltage division rule. So if you want to generalize this, you can write the formula like this. Vx is equal to Rx by RT into Vs. Okay, I think now you are very much clear about this voltage division rule. Let's do one problem on this one. So a circuit is given like this. There are two resistors here. So one is 4 ohm resistor and another one is 6 ohm resistor. These two resistors are connected in series. And for the series combination, we applied a 50 volts supply. Now what is the requirement? We have to calculate the voltage across 6 ohm resistor. So from voltage division rule, the voltage across 6 ohms can be calculated as, so what is the value of resistance that we have to represent on the numerator? The resistance itself, it is the 6 ohms divided by the total resistance. So how many resistances are there? Two resistors, and these two are connected in series. So the total resistance will be 4 plus 6. And what is the total voltage applied with the series combination? 50 volts. So multiply with 50. So the answer will be 6 divided by 10 into 50. That means 30 volts. So the voltage that is going to be dropped is 30 volts. Similarly, if you want to calculate the voltage across 4 ohms, how will you calculate the voltage across 4 ohms? The voltage across 4 ohms can be calculated by the resistance value divided by total resistance into total applied voltage. That gives rise to 20 volts. Okay. So if you add the voltage across 6 ohms plus 4 ohms, 30 plus 20. 30 plus 20 is equal to 50 volts. Whereby we can say that the total voltage is going to be dividing across each resistor. So this is how we are going to apply the voltage division rule in a series resistive circuit. Okay. This is all about voltage division rule. Now let's move on to the current division rule. Current division rule is going to be applied in parallel. So current division rule, voltage division rule applies in case of series resistive circuit, and here the current division rule is going to be applied in parallel resistive circuit. Okay, let's see how we are going to apply. So it applies to resistors that are connected in parallel. So current division rule applies to the resistors that are connected in parallel, and it gives the current through each element in terms of the resistances and total current. In voltage division rule, the voltage across each resistor will be obtained in terms of the resistances and total voltage. Similarly, here in case of current division rule, the current through each resistor, in a circuit, in a parallel circuit, can be obtained in terms of the resistances as well as the total current. Let us consider a parallel circuit here. How can you say that it is a parallel circuit? Because all the elements R1, R2, R3 and voltage source, all these are connected between the two nodes 1 and 2. That's why we are going to call it as parallel circuit. In case of parallel circuit, so what are the characteristics of a parallel circuit? The first one is voltage remains same. The voltage across all the elements is equal to the supply voltage V. And what is the factor that divides? Current. The current coming from the source divides as I1 through R1, I2 through R2 and I3 through R3. So these are the two characteristics. Now let us start from the basics. Just like we have applied in voltage division rule, let us use Ohm's law as well as Kirchhoff's current law to apply the current division rule. Okay. Since it is a parallel circuit, we are going to use KCL. So from Ohm's law, so that's what I am saying. The current through each resistor can be determined as, first one, the current through R1 is I1, and I1 will be equal to V divided by R1. Similarly, I2 is V divided by R2, and I3 is V divided by R3. This we can get from Ohm's law. Now if you apply KCL at any one of these nodes, and we are going to get I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3, because the total current coming from the source divides as I1, I2, I3. That's why I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. And we know the values of I1, I2, I3. Just now we have calculated from Ohm's law. Substitute these values here. So I is equal to V by R1, I2 in place of I2, V by R2 in place of I3, V by R3. The common term in the expression is V. Take the V common, then you are going to get I is equal to V into 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. And we know that in case of parallel circuit, the equivalent resistance. What is the equivalent resistance? 1 by RT is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. Therefore, in this expression, in place of 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3, replace 1 by RT, total resistance. Now what is the voltage from this one? Voltage is nothing but, if you take RT to LHS side, then V is equal to I into RT. Now, what is the value of I1 that we have calculated from Ohm's law? I1 is nothing but V by R1, and V we just now calculated as I into RT. V is equal to I into RT. So substitute in place of V, I into RT. So RT by R1 into I. Next, similarly I2. So what is I2? RT by R2, total resistance by the individual resistance into V. Similarly, what is I3? The total resistance divided by R3 into V. This is called the current division rule. Okay. If you compare this with voltage division rule, the only change is nothing but the resistance here. Okay. The resistance is going to be changed. So this is actually I, not V. The total current I, RT by R1 into I. Similarly, RT by R2 into I, RT by R3 into I. If you compare this with voltage division rule, in case of voltage division rule, V1 is equals to R1 by RT into total voltage. But in current division rule, how will you calculate I1? I1 is equals to RT by R1. The ratio has been reversed, reciprocal of that ratio. So RT divided by the individual resistance R1 into total current. Similarly, if you want to calculate I2, that means the current through the resistance R2. How will you calculate? First you are going to calculate RT divided with that individual resistance R2 into total current. Likewise, you can calculate the current flowing through the resistance R3. Okay, this is how you are going to apply current division rule in case of a parallel resistor circuit. If you want to generalize the formula, here I have considered n resistors. So if all the resistors are connected in parallel, the equivalent resistance will be 1 by equals to the total resistance, parallel resistance he has indicated, 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus and so on 1 by Rn. From that, in general, you can calculate Ij as the total resistance in parallel divided by the individual resistance into the current. So this is the generalized formula. Okay. So let us apply the current division rule again, once again. I have considered a parallel resistive circuit. Here the total voltage applied is V. So this voltage V will produce a current of value I. Assume that the total voltage V is going to be produce a current of I. Since it is a parallel circuit, the voltage remains same. The voltage across R1 is V, the voltage across R2 is V, and the voltage across R3 is also V. And what about the current here? The current will divide. So at this point, this is the junction point or node. The current is going to be divided at this junction point. Assume that the current through R1 is I1, current through R2 as I2, and current through R3 as I3. From Ohm's law, calculate the current through each resistor here, because this I, I1, I2, I3 are the assumed quantities, assumed variables. So now let us calculate from Ohm's law. Current through individual resistances. So the current through R1, I1 is nothing but V divided by R1, and current through R2 is I2 is equal to V divided by R2, and the current through the resistance R3 is I3 is equal to V divided by R3. If you observe in these equations, the voltage is same. That is the property characteristic of a parallel circuit. Voltage remains same, current divides. Now if you apply KCL at this node, you apply KCL at node 1. This is node 1. Then the sum of incoming currents is equals to sum of outgoing currents. At node 1, the only current entering is I, and I1 the currents leaving. That's why sum of entering currents is equal to sum of leaving currents. And we know the values of I1, I2, I3. Just now we have calculated from Ohm's law. Substitute those equations. I1 is V by R1, I2 is V by R2, and I3 is V by R3. In this V is common, so take V common. Then the expression becomes 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. Now, in case of parallel circuits, we already derived that the equivalent resistance R equivalent can be obtained as 1 by R equivalent is equals to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. We already derived this. So in this expression, you can replace this 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2, 1 by R3 as 1 by R equivalent. So the expression becomes V into 1 by R equivalent. Okay, if we substitute the expression here. Now from this, we can write V is equals to okay. So by applying Ohm's law and KCL, we derived V is equal to I into R equivalent. So here I1 is equals to V divided by R1. Now what is formula for V? I into R equivalent. Substitute here. I into R equivalent by R1. Now I am going to separate the resistance terms here. R equivalent by R1 into I. That is how you are going to apply the current division rule. So I1 is equals to R equivalent divided by R1 into I. Similarly, what about I2? V by R2. V is nothing but I into R equivalent divided by R2. Then you can write this as R equivalent by R2 into I. And finally, I3 can be obtained in the same manner, which is nothing but R equivalent by R3 into I. Okay. So this is how you are going to the current division rule from Ohm's law and KCL. Without applying KCL and Ohm's law, let us try to formulate the current division rule through the circuit itself. So this is the circuit considered. I am going to assume that the total current coming from the source will divide into three currents through resistors I1. The current through R1 is I1, current through R2 as I2, and current through R3 as I3. Okay. Now if you want to calculate I1, the current flowing through the resistance 1 R1, how you are going to calculate? By using current division rule. First of all, you have to calculate the equivalent resistance. That equivalent resistance we are going to call it as, term it as R equivalent. Then divided by the resistance value itself into total current I. Okay. Similarly, how will you obtain the value of I2? First, you are going to calculate R equivalent divided by the resistance R2 itself into total current I. Similarly, I3 can be formulated as the total resistance R equivalent divided by R2 into I. Okay. So what is R equivalent? In case of parallel circuit, 1 by R equivalent is equals to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. Okay. And how will you calculate total current I? I is nothing but V by R equivalent. We already know this. So like this we can apply current division rule in a parallel resistive circuit. Okay. This is all about current division rule. Now let us solve some simple problems here. First problem. So the problem is stated like this. For the series circuit shown, use the laws of circuit theory to calculate the following. The first one is the total resistance RT Next, second, the current flowing through each component. Current flowing through 1 ohms, 2 ohms, 3 ohms and the total current. Next, the voltage across each component. The voltage across source, the voltage across individual resistances as well. And use the results to verify Kirchhoff's voltage law. Okay. So let us solve this problem. So the given problem, given circuit diagram is this one. So what is the first problem we have to calculate? First question, the total resistance. Now what is the type of the circuit given? Whether it is a series circuit or parallel circuit. In the statement itself, they mentioned that it is a series circuit. In case of series circuit, what is the formula for total resistance? The formula for total resistance in case of series circuit. The total resistance RT is R1 plus R2 plus and so on Rn. Here n is nothing but the number of resistors. How many resistors are there here? 3 resistances. So the total resistance will be R1 plus R2 plus R3. And what are the values of the resistance given? 1 ohms, 2 ohms and 3 ohms. So the equivalent resistance or total resistance is 6 ohms. So this is the first one we have calculated. Very simple. They have asked to calculate the total resistance and the given circuit is a series circuit. In case of series circuit, we know that the same current will flow because there is only one path and the voltage will divide. And in case of series circuit, the equivalent resistance will be sum of the individual resistances. So RT is equals to 1 ohm plus 2 ohm plus 3 ohms. That's why the total resistance will be 6 ohms. Next one. What is the second thing you have to calculate? The current flowing through each component. Second point. Current flowing through each resistance. Since it is a series circuit, what about the current? Current through all components. Is same. In case of series circuit, the current through all the components remains same, equal, because that is the characteristic of a series circuit. Now how will you calculate the current? You know the total resistance value 6 ohms. That means you can remove the 3 resistors and place a single resistor and apply the voltage here, 10 volts. And what is the value of this resistor? 6 ohm. Current coming from the current flowing through the circuit. Now, how will you calculate current? From Ohm's law. We know that V is equals to I into RT. Given value V is 10. We have to calculate the total current I. And what is RT? 6. So from this, current I is 10 by 6 amperes. The unit is amperes. That means the source is going to be produced 10 by 6 amperes of current. The same current is flowing through 1 ohms, 2 ohms as well as 3 ohms. Okay, you can write the total current IT is 10 by 6 amperes, which is equal to current through first resistor, and it is also equal to current through second resistor, and it is also equal to third resistor. Because in case of series circuits, the current remains same. This is the second question. Now what is the third question they asked? The voltage across each component. In case, what is the voltage across each component? That is the third. Let us do this. How we are going to solve the voltage across each component? We are going to solve this in 2 ways. So let us remember that the total resistance is 6 ohms and the current is 10 by 6 amperes. Now how will you calculate the voltage across each component? Just now we discussed about the voltage division rule. In case of series circuit, the voltage is going to be divided. Voltage divides. This is characteristics of a series circuit. Current remains same is the first one, and the second one is current voltage divides. I am going to assume that the voltage across the first resistance is V1, and the voltage across 2 ohms is V2, and voltage across 3 ohms is V3. I am going to assume that current is flowing like this, because the source will deliver the current. That's why I have assumed the current direction in clockwise direction. Based upon this current direction, I have given the polarities, plus and minus. Okay. Now, how will you calculate the voltage V1? Let us apply voltage division rule. You can calculate from Ohm's law also, but we already done several problems on Ohm's law. That's why now we are going to use voltage division rule. So how will you apply voltage division rule? If you want to calculate V1, so the V1 is nothing but voltage across 1 ohm. When you want to calculate voltage across 1 ohm, in the numerator you have to write the resistance value itself divided by the total resistance 1 plus 2 plus 3 into the total voltage 10. So that means V1 is 10 divided by 6 volts. This is how you are going to calculate voltage across first resistor. Now similarly, if you want to calculate the voltage across 2 ohms, how will you calculate? The resistance value itself 2 ohms divided by the total resistance 1 plus 2 plus 3 into total voltage 10. That means the voltage is 20 by 6 volts. Okay. Now the voltage across V3 according to voltage division rule is the resistance value itself divided by 1 plus 2 plus 3 into 10, which gives 30 by 6 volts. 30 by 6. So this is how you are going to calculate the voltage across each resistors by using voltage division rule. Even if you add these three voltages, V1 plus V2 plus V3. Suppose if you add these 3 voltages, it has to give 10 volts. So what is the first one? 10 by 6. Next 20 by 6. Next 30 by 6. Total 60 by 6, which gives rise to 10 volts. It proves that the total voltage 10 has been divided. Okay. This is not necessary, but for verification purpose only I have explained this. These are the voltages across individual elements. That is the requirement. Okay. Last one. Use the results to verify Kirchhoff's voltage law. Now let us apply KVL on your own in a circuit and verify that the results obtained by using the previous methods are validated or not. Okay. Now we are going to solve one more problem on current division rule in parallel circuits. So that is the given circuit. Given circuit is a parallel circuit. So what are the two important characteristics of a parallel circuit? The first one is voltage remains same across all the elements. And what is the second important characteristics? Current divides through each element. So in parallel circuit, what are the two important characteristics of parallel circuit? The first one is voltage remains same. That means the voltage across 2 ohms is 10 volts. And what is the voltage across another 2 ohms here? It is also 10 ohms. It is also 10 volts. Similarly, what is the voltage across the last 2 ohms? It is also equals to 10 volts. That is the characteristics of parallel circuit. That means the voltage across all individual resistance remains same. And what about the current? Assume that the total current I coming from the source is going to be divided as I1, I2 and I3. The first thing you have to do is find out the equivalent resistance. You have to calculate the total resistance or equivalent resistance of the given circuit. And we know that in case of a parallel circuit, the equivalent resistance is 1 by RT is equals to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. Since there are only 3 resistors here, I have considered only 3. 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. Now 1 by RT is equal to R1 value 2, so 2 and R3 is 2. So it gives rise to 3 by. Don't leave this, it is actually 1 by R2. Many of you will stop here and you will treat this as the resistance ohms, but it is not actually ohms. The value here it is 1 by RT. That means you have to take. So what is actual RT? 2 by 3 ohms. So this is correct. So that is the first one. Next, second. What is the second question he has asked? The voltage across each component. We know that the voltage across each component is same, because in case of parallel circuit, voltage remains same. That means the voltage across each component is 10 volts. And the voltage across each component is 10 volts. That is very simple. And the third one you have to do is the current flowing through each component. How will you calculate current flowing through each component? By means of current division rule. Okay. So according to current division rule, I1, current flowing through the first resistance I1 is nothing but the total resistance RT divided by the resistance itself R1 into total current I. Okay. But here RT already we know, we calculate 2 by 3. And what about R1? R1 is 2 ohms. But we don't know the value of I. First we have to calculate the value of I. How you are going to calculate the value of I? Replace the circuit into a single circuit. The voltage given is 10 volts. And we know that the equivalent resistance of the 3 resistance values is 2 by 3. That's why we are going to remove these 3 resistors and place a single resistance of value 2 by 3 ohms. Now from circuit we can calculate the total current I. So what is the total current I? 10 divided by 2 by 3, which is equivalent to 30 by 2 or 15 amperes. So the total current is 15 amperes. That's how we are going to calculate the total current. I am going to explain once again. When you want to calculate the total current I, you are going to replace this with an equivalent circuit where the 3 resistors are going to be replaced by its equivalent single resistor of value 2 by 3 ohms. Now by applying Ohm's law here, we can calculate the total current I as 15 amperes. Now substitute the value here. So here I have used capital I symbol. So I1 is equals to RT is 2 by 3 divided by R1 is 2 ohms into 15. So it gives to 5 amperes. Next, similarly calculate I2. I2 is the current flowing through the second resistor 2 ohms. That is, the formula is total resistance RT divided by the second resistance value into total current I, which is nothing but 2 by 3 divided by 2 into 15. Again it is going to 5 amperes. Similarly, if you calculate I3, you are going to get 5 amperes. If we add I1 plus I2 plus I3, you are going to get 15 amperes. This is how you are going to calculate the current through each component by using current division rule. Okay. So then the last one is use the results to verify Kirchhoff's current law. So I am going to ask you to do this verification on your own. So let us summarize what we have discussed today. First, we have discussed about the Kirchhoff's current law as well as Kirchhoff's voltage law. Kirchhoff's laws have been discussed in the first class. In the first topic, we have stated the each law and we have analyzed the each law by using a simple electrical circuit. Second thing we have discussed is We have studied about series circuits, important characteristics of series circuit, and we have calculated the equivalent resistance of a series resistive circuit. Next, we discussed about parallel circuits. So parallel circuits, next we have discussed about the equivalent resistance. We have calculated the equivalent resistance of a parallel resistive circuit, and the characteristics of parallel circuits have also been discussed. And finally, we have done some simple problems on KCL, KVL, series and parallel circuits. And we also discussed about the voltage division rule in case of series circuit and current division rule in case of parallel circuits. So that's all about today. Thank you very much.